Hi everyone, and welcome back as I continue my look at my selection of Blake 7. This is now Season 2, Pressure Point. For some time, Blake has been gathering information about a facility called Control. He believes Control is the heart of the Federation. He believes that is what's controlling the Federation, and Blake wants to destroy it. Control is located on Earth. Blake has obviously made contact with Resistance leader Gazabi to meet up and to enter Control with her help. Basically fight their way in, but of course Travis and Servalan already been staking the area out to get hold of their first primary target, Gazabi, which for Servalan is a prize capture. Back on the Liberator, the crew are a little bit edgy about what Blake's decision, but that they sort of go along with it. Ave, on the other hand, has other ideas. If you pull this off, Blake, they're going to need a leader to lead the Resistance. And I want the Liberator. Very interesting, that. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Servalan springs her trap and Gazabi is captured. She's interrogated, given, I assume, very strong truth drugs, and the result is that Gazabi dies under interrogation, not before revealing all the safeguards to the transmitter, the signal, where that signal is going to be placed, in a specific location. All these safeguards for Blake, and basically Travis and Servalan now know all of this, and so they're basically going to lie in wait for Blake. Blake teleports down, scouts out the area, and Gan then teleports down to join him. Avon, of course, is playing his cards near his chest, you could say, because he doesn't entirely trust Blake. Blake and Gan arrive at the meeting location where they meet Veron, Gazabi's daughter. She tells them what happened, but what they don't know is she is reluctantly working for the Federation. Blake communicates back to the Liberator to tell Avon and Villa to teleport down to the Forbidden Zone and check it out, and that's exactly what they do. They check it out. They find there's no security forces around, because it doesn't need security forces around. It's a very dangerous zone. It's a very sophisticated zone which can cause instantaneous death. Avon also discovers it can self-repair. It's like a wire mesh crisscrossing, and it's highly lethal. But he does sort of work out there could be a chance, a very slim chance, to get across the zone to the door entrance. Fortunately for Avon and Villa, they are teleported out of the zone to Blake's location just in time, because they triggered the zone and it's just about to kill them. Fortunately for them, they were teleported out under Blake's orders about a specific 5-minute time frame. Anyway, so Avon tells Blake about the zone. Unfortunately for them, they are betrayed by Velron, who basically knocks them out with knockout gas, takes their teleport bracelets away, and locks them in. Velron reports to Travis with the teleport bracelet she stole, But unfortunately for Travis, who thinks they're all nicely locked up, Gan manages to break down the door of the location and they all make their way to the Forbidden Zone, where Avon puts his idea into effect by blasting the zone. And they got 8 seconds to quickly run across. Blake does it. Villa and Gan do it, no problem. Avon slips up, but fortunately is bailed out, you could say, by Blake. And he manages to get across to the entrance to Control. And they make their way through Control. One area does have a defense mechanism on the floor, like a minefield. But apart from that, it's basically empty. Anyway, they get to Control, the main door. Villa opens it. Blake bursts in, saying, I've done it. And Avon just points out the very obvious. It's an empty room, Blake. Blake looks round and reality sinks in. He just cannot believe it. He just cannot accept it. But he has to. It is an empty room. Behind them is, of course, Travis, who eventually catches up with them, and Travis just tells the whole story about Control, that the whole complex is nothing more than a lure. A test, you could say, for anyone who has got the guts to take it on. Blake, obviously, is the only one who managed to get all the way in. Sutherland now turns up on the scene, but behind Sutherland is Jenna, because Jenna has become suspicious of lack of communications. She's teleported down, and she's managed to run into Sutherland. So Sutherland's walking in, saying, drop your guns and whatnot, Travis. Travis saying, what? And then, of course, followed by Jenna and Velron. So, Travis drops his guns. Blake and co make a mad dash for it, followed by Travis, who throws a grenade and blows up part of the section of the upper tier, you could say. And basically, the result is nasty. It's Gan who pays the ultimate price. The ceiling falls in on Gan, and Gan is killed. Blake is stunned at the loss of one of his crew, Gan. But eventually he comes to terms with this, and him and the rest of the crew manage to get back up to the top. Jenna brought down some extra teleport bracelets, so they all teleport back up. Meanwhile, Travis says the Federation will dig them out. And Sutherland says, I'm going to bury you. Very interesting comment. So, nobody won. Travis once again failed to get Blake, and Blake failed to destroy Control. And that's where the episode ends. Right, my final thoughts on this particular episode. It's a very good episode. Now, how Blake manages to piece the pieces of information together about Control, we don't actually know, and it doesn't really matter too much. What we know is that this thing called Control is like a massive computerized system that runs the Federation. His aim was to destroy it. That would cause massive disruption and could possibly start the rebellion against the Federation. Very good episode, this, in my opinion. It's a tragic loss that we lose the character again, played by David Jackson. But this was to do mainly with the BBC, I believe, that they wanted to remove Gann because he was a weak character. That's what I heard. But David Jackson had something else lined up. So he moved on. And he was happy what he did. So congratulations to him where he went. It's quite a moving episode in some ways, that to have a crew member actually die in this episode. Travis is just not Travis from the first series. Brian Countra. It's like he's too calm. He's smooth, not like Travis from the first series. I definitely think they should never have brought Travis back. Brian could have played a different character, I think, a different henchman. And I think he would have done quite well as that henchman. But he should have played a different character, definitely. He's definitely not the Travis of the first series at all. Yeah, Pressure Point is a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was marvellous. Great one. And on that note, everyone, have a great day. See you in due course. Goodbye.